Another day, another butt touched. It sure is tough dating every girl in school, but you know, it's kinda lonely at the top. If only I had someone on my level, some kind of mentor, to advise me on how to live my radical alpha lifestyle to the max. He ain't in Ponyville, that's for sure. This town's just full of fucking betas. Well, at least there's a new episode of The Pony Show. Let's do it! I finally found someone who understands me. I think being alpha could be my destiny.
A true alpha always gets his way. He won't take your shit any day. He'll steal your girl, but he'll never cry because that's gay. And he's busy fucking sluts. See that mare with dad ass? I'm on that like eggs on ham. Gotta try to get in her pants. It's what I'll do to prove that I'm a man. A true alpha always gets his way. He spends hours on his hair each day. He lifts mad weight and he'll smack your ass because he's straight and feels he must prove that.
Putting Your Hoof Down is the best fucking episode of My Little Pony.
In my opinion. This episode blows my mind. It has great humor, a completely fresh story, and fantastic side characters. But more importantly, it takes everything I thought I knew about Fluttershy and even equestrian society, mixes it up, and presents it in a whole new way. Not to mention it introduces the single greatest side character in the entire series, but we'll get to him later. When I first started watching MLP, I was certain of two things. One, Pinkie Pie was an annoying retard, and two, that I wanted to put my dick in Fluttershy. I mean that I really liked Fluttershy. She was easily my favorite pony. And so delicate. But as the show progressed, characters I didn't initially care for, like Pinkie Pie and Twilight, got some of that good old pony show character development in episodes like Lesson Zero and A Friend Indeed, while Fluttershy kept dealing with the same old shit. I love animals, but I'm shy. I want to help my friends, but I'm too shy. I'm scared of everything, and I'm shy! Fluttershy fell fast in my pony waifu tier list, just barely holding on to the rank of almost as boring as Applejack. But just as I had begun to abandon all hope, a miracle. Putting Your Hoof Down came out, and it rocked everything I had ever thought about Fluttershy and reignited my waifu's flame. And I know people like to bitch about this episode, usually claiming it's because Fluttershy is out of character, but I say those people just don't like having their expectations challenged. Everything that happens in this episode makes sense if you look a little deeper. Now let's do it! The episode begins with Fluttershy getting walked all over by the citizens of Ponyville, especially Angel, Lamau. They abuse her, exploit her, and talk shit about her to her face, and it's hilarious. Seeing Ponyville folk act this way might be surprising at first, but take a minute and think about what we're seeing here. We are now experiencing Ponyville from something we've never seen before, the perspective of Fluttershy. This is the world Fluttershy lives in. She gets taken advantage of, pushed around, and finds it difficult to ever get her way when dealing with other ponies. And no, the writers didn't just pull this out of their asses for this episode. Why do you think Fluttershy lives alone, away from town, and prefers the company of animals? They won't take advantage of her weaknesses this way. Angel doesn't count. Look at some of these scenes.
Hey, Would you mind moving back? You're in my personal space. But seriously, do you need your asparagus so badly? Get a life.
You think those ponies would have pulled that shit if it was a Rainbow or Rarity waiting in line instead of Fluttershy? Come on! And as for those ponies, it isn't evil or out of character for a Ponyville citizen to do this kind of stuff. You guys don't know every background pony, do ya? Maybe some are jerks, like these two Emmy Award winners. It's just human nature to take advantage of weaknesses. Besides, when you're dealing with someone who buckles so easily, it's kinda hard not to come across like a jerk. Look at this scene.
I need that cherry no matter what it costs.
In that case, 20 bits.
20?
Sure, he kinda seems like a dick, but can you really blame the guy for raising the price after hearing that? Come on! And so Fluttershy says she's fucking had it and goes to an assertiveness seminar to get this shit handled. And let me just say, that is fucking awesome. Enter Iron Will. My god. I love this character. I never expected a guy like this to show up in MLP. I knew he was a kindred spirit from the second I saw the guy. He's kind of like a cross of Mr. T and TJ Mackey. Oh, you don't know TJ? Let me introduce you.
Respect the cock. And tame the cunt.
Awesome. Now, Iron Will is funny, interesting, and most of all unique. Not to mention ripped! And the idea of there being an assertiveness seminar guy in Equestria is so far out of left field that I was caught completely off guard. Now, some of Iron Will's techniques are questionable. Laugh at me, I wrath at you, what? But you have to admit, they get real results for Fluttershy. Now, it would have been so easy for the writers to make Iron Will a big dumb villain, but they took the high road and they didn't do that. When Fluttershy was overdue on payment for the seminar, he didn't force her to pay with all his rippling muscles. Instead, he tried to negotiate. Not only that, but he used his own assertiveness techniques to do so, showing that he practices what he preaches and really does believe in his method. All in all, I found him to be a funny, competent, likable male character. Well done, Merryweather. After the seminar, Fluttershy does an assertiveness 180 and starts fucking everybody up. She sets some bitches straight real quick, don't let nobody get in her way, and emotionally devastates her friends just for fun. Now that's alpha. And it's perfectly believable that she would act this way. Having been the doormat of everyone for so long, all that built-up resentment finally has an outlet, and this is the result. But I'll talk more about this later. For now, I just gotta say that this episode was damn funny. Watching Fluttershy get continually wrecked was funny, seeing Fluttershy spaz out while trying to flirt was goddamn hilarious, but watching Fluttershy fuck up everyone who did the slightest damn thing to her was one of the funniest things I've ever seen! Look at this shit!
Oh, that's a shame.
Fucking wrecked! But of course, Fluttershy eventually realizes she's gone too far, and by the end of the episode, she figures out that you can be assertive without being mean.
Yay.
There are a few issues with the moral in this episode, though. For example, everyone keeps calling Iron Will a monster, and at times he's made out to be wholly responsible for Fluttershy's transformation into a crazy bitch. And this, I'll admit, is pretty bullshit. He never told Fluttershy to be hypersensitive to the slightest provocation, or to attack random ponies and even her friends like that. But on the other hand, he does give advice like never apologize when you can criticize, which does hurt his credibility a bit. And whatever his intentions were, he is ultimately responsible for Fluttershy's change in attitude. So justified or not, it does at least make sense for the ponies to dislike him. But who gives a fuck? Best character of all time, best episode of all time, 10 out of 10! But wait, what's that I hear?
Fuck you and fuck this episode, man. How can you like this episode? Fluttershy was so out of character.
Hitler actually made some pretty good points.
She's not supposed to be
You're
mean.
racist. I would still have sex with her. Well, let me tell you why you're wrong, friends. Let's take a look at the most infamous scene in the episode. The incredible rant Fluttershy unloads on Pinkie Pie and Rarity. Her total destruction of everything Rarity and Pinkie Pie stand for. It's really one of the most amazing scenes in the entire show.
Let's not let things descend into petty insults. Why not? I thought petty was what you're all about, Rarity.
Oh!
With your petty concerns about fashion.
Oh! Yeah,
Hey,
fuck that
leave her
bitch.
alone. Fashion is her passion. passion.
Oh, don't do it. Don't
Oh,
step
and
to her,
what are
punk.
you passionate about? Birthday cake? Party hats?
I don't see no
I can't
birthday
believe that
candles.
The two most frivolous ponies in Ponyville are trying to tell new Fluttershy how to live her life.
Yeah,
when
you
they
tell,
are
girl.
throwing their own lives away on pointless pursuits that no pony else gives a flying feather about.
I don't care about nothing. Fluttershy outright tells Rarity and Pinkie Pie that their reasons for living are a joke. Holy shit, that's badass. And yes, it's harsh, cruel even. But is it out of character? Let's take a look at a few moments from the show. In Sonic Rainbow, before Rainbow's competition, Fluttershy praises Rainbow Dash to her face, but behind her back tells the other main six that she can't actually do the Sonic Rainbow and pretty much sucks. That's unhelpful, passive-aggressive, and actually pretty mean. In Suited for Success, Fluttershy keeps repeating that the dress Rarity made her is fine, but when Rarity finally wrings the truth out of her, she's got a laundry list of things she hates about it. Passive-aggressive again. Listen to Fluttershy's line here.
Don't worry your pretty little head about mean old Gilda. Your Auntie Pinkie Pie's got it all taken care of. I'm a year older than you.
It's like we can hear her thoughts. Fuck that pink bitch. And that's just a few examples. In her own way, Fluttershy kind of has a mean streak. So Fluttershy's explosion on Rarity and Pinkie Pie wasn't an out-of-character moment, but the release of all the gripes she's ever had with them that she was never able to vent before. And if you still don't buy that, consider this. Fluttershy came up with these insults herself. None of Iron Will's sayings told her to say that, and she wasn't fed those lines by anyone besides herself. When she said no one gives a flying feather about what Pinkie Pie and Rarity do with their lives, that came from inside her. You may be wondering, how can this be? How can Fluttershy think such awful things about her friends? Isn't it contrary to her character? Doesn't that make her unkind? Fuck no! Not having any negative thoughts or feelings about others isn't kind, it's brain dead. Yes, Fluttershy occasionally thinks Rarity's a bimbo and Pinkie Pie's a dumb slut, and it bothers her. But what makes Fluttershy the kind pony we know is that she's able to see past the things that annoy her about her friends and appreciate their good sides. It's like that quote, once you hate someone, everything they do is offensive. Look at that bitch over there making dresses like she owns the fucking place. What I'm getting at is that this episode is all about perception. After Iron Will's seminar, Fluttershy takes an antagonistic attitude toward life and everyone around her. So now things like Pinkie's laughter that she wouldn't have minded before, at least not very much, now seem like a full-blown attack against her, and so that's how she responded. Pinkie Pie can be annoying. Rarity can be superficial. Not all the time, but it happens. Everyone Fluttershy knows has faults, and in this episode it is made clear that Fluttershy is very aware of those faults. But what makes Fluttershy a fitting element of kindness is how she looks past those faults and appreciate the things that she does like about her friends. When not on a psycho bitch trip. So in the end, this episode was fucking great. An amazing premise, exploring new depths to Fluttershy's character, and introducing the objectively best character in the series. What more could you want? The only sad thing is that there haven't been many good Fluttershy episodes that enhance her depth as a character since this one, Keep Calm and Flutteron and It Ain't Easy Being Breezy's being the only small exceptions. Since Putting Your Hoof Down, Fluttershy has slowly fallen down and been less and less interesting, and even Applejack has gotten more development. Never mind. And that's gonna wrap it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed this completely objective and unbiased review of Putting Your Hoof Down, the greatest story ever told about a shy, introverted pony completely transforming into a super alpha assertiveness machine. It's a tale I think we can all relate to. Some more than others. Everyone, I've got to come clean about my past. The truth is,
I fear I told a little fib about my being cool, but now I'll lay it on the line, so don't think I'm a tool. I wasn't quite the super alpha pony like I claimed. The fact is that I was a nerd who everyone called gay. Sat home and watched TV all day, I was a total bore. But then I saw this alpha teaching ponies how to score. Everything was perfect, manly men filled that hedge maze. Those bros only wanted to fuck, and I felt just the same. I vowed right then to change my life, stop watching anime. Instead I hit on girls all day, said they should get with me. A super duper alpha pony, that's what I became. I traveled all Equestria, slayed pussy every day. But that never would have happened if I was a beta still. For the one who made me alpha, it was you, Iron Will.
Me?
Yeah,
Really?
really.
Never admit defeat if you have 4 feet.
You said it, buddy. Now let's do it!
Super duper alpha ponies, that is me and you. One pro being a boss is great, but not as great as 2. Gonna hit the gym together, get some muscle on those legs. Now let's go funkin' party with Iron Will and Keg.